Hey everyone, welcome back to Homemaking with Rebecca. Today we're making this super simple shredded beef recipe. It's basically just two main ingredients. You've got a beef chuck roast and salsa are your main ingredients. And then you're going to need some salt and pepper and a little bit of oil to cook it in. So I'm just going to get started. This is about 5 pounds of chuck roast. This is kind of a double batch. I've got these two roasts, so I'm going to go ahead and cook them and put half of it in the freezer for later. And so you just want to salt them up really, really good. And if you have time, let them sit for about 10 minutes or so with the salt and pepper on them. And then we're going to heat up some oil here in this Dutch oven. I like to use something that's got sides on it, like a Dutch oven, so it doesn't splatter so much. And all you're going to be doing is searing it on either side. So you want to get it really nice and brown. It's going to take maybe 4 or 5 minutes on each side. And you're going to see it pull up there, and it's just going to be nice and brown. And then we're just going to flip it over, let it cook for a few more minutes on the other side. So now that this is nice and browned up on both sides, I'm just going to stick it in my crock pot, and I'm going to go ahead and brown up that other roast on both sides, and then we're just going to pour the salsa over it. So today I'm using a Salsa Verde, which I really like, and I got a bunch of it on sale, so I'm just going to use some of that up. I've also used like a red salsa. It's really good too, and it's just going to give that meat like a really nice flavor, and you know, the acidity from the salsa is going to kind of tenderize it, and it's going to be really good. Once I get everything in here, I'm just going to turn mine on high, and it cooks for about 6 hours with this much meat in there. Now, if you only had like one roast, it might not take that long, or you might could turn it down to low. It's really just going to kind of depend on your crock pot and how much meat and stuff you got in there, but you want to cook it kind of a long time because you want everything to break down in there, and you want it to be able to pull apart really nice and easily. So this is what the meat looks like after it's done cooking. You can see that it's nice and tender. And so I'm just going to take 2 forks and I'm just going to shred all of it up here. You can see that it's got a lot of sauce in there, and that's really good. And I'm just going to leave it in that sauce. It's going to help keep it nice and moist. And if you see any kind of big fat pieces in there or gristly pieces, you just kind of want to take those out because they wouldn't be really good to eat. So you just want to pull those out, and you just want to get everything really nice and shredded up. And today we're going to be having ours with some tortillas. So I'm making some homemade tortillas here. So these are a whole grain einkorn tortilla recipe, and I will put the link to that in the description below. We have been loving having these with our tacos lately. I used to think it was just too much work to make tortillas, but these are just so good, and they just add so much to the meal that we've been loving having them. And they just, a lot of times you can't find tortillas that don't have a lot of extra additives and preservatives and stuff in them, so I like being able to make these from scratch. A lot of times the kids like to get in here and help me, and I'll roll them out and then they'll flip them for me. And I found the key to tortillas is to not overcook them. If you do, they kind of break apart and they're not soft and pliable. And also putting on a plate with that towel so they can kind of steam in there, that really helps as well. So I really hope you enjoy this beef recipe. It's become one of our favorites to have with tacos. You could also have it on buns or over a baked potato. It's really versatile. The salsa gives it a lot of flavor, but it doesn't overpower it, and you still get a lot of that beef flavor. And it's just such a great recipe to have on hand to kind of throw in the crock pot and come back to that night to have a hot supper. So this is our meal lineup for tonight. We've got our meat, our tortillas, sour cream, salsa, cheese, and lettuce. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great day.